When you're ready, you can go
live whatever.
Live talk to YouTube.
Hey.
Put your feet on the floor and ground. Take a really nice deep breath in, the deepest breath of your day. We sometimes just don't breathe well because we're rushing around, we get up, we jump out of bed, we've got to be somewhere, something happened 5 minutes ago, we're worrying about the past, we're worrying about the future. Realise we've got the power to do that ourselves, for ourselves. And then when you've got yourself into a good place, you can support with other people, but only them. Okay, or else we become overwhelmed. So you'll all know about fight, flight. You'll have done about that in science at school early on, I'm sure. Freeze is another trauma response. So fight, flight, freeze. Freeze is one that people don't talk about too much, and it's one I suggest that a lot of people have gone into because of COVID. We're all bored, we sit still, don't move too quick, it's all going to pass us by because it's a fear response, and it's a normal response to have. There is no guilt and shame about any of this. And the same, if you suffer from anxiety, if you suffer from panic attacks, if you just think sometimes I've got no motivation, why should I be bothered? I've got to online learn, in lockdown it's been really hard. So all these things just take some time to acknowledge, be in the body and learn this tool where you can just put your feet on the floor, ground yourself. May sound a little bit, you might think it's a bit new age, but this, imagine that you've got roots almost coming out of your feet into the floor. And if you suffer from panic attacks or anxiety, being overwhelmed, being bewildered, it can just give you that little bit of support. Yeah, a bit like a handrail, if you're holding onto a handrail, but this is happening for you mentally, then just use it as a grounding technique and just breathe in and out. So we'll go back into this, coming into your body, right here, right now, closing your eyes. Closing your eyes, just trusting in the process, you're all great, full stage, you've not gone for the hills. Just closing your eyes and bringing yourself into this moment right here, right now. That would be really good. And just allowing yourself to breathe that little bit slower than you have. That bit deeper, that bit slower, breathing into the lungs, deep into the lungs, and just bringing your awareness to the breath. Really vital to get oxygen into the body. And something that we all find quite difficult to do. So breathe now, I want you to breathe in and out, just finding your natural rhythm. You can maybe put your hand onto your chest and try and connect with your heartbeat if you want. If you don't want to connect with the heartbeat, connect with maybe the wrist, the pulse, the echo. It's the echo of the heartbeat in the wrist, pulse. And just feel how it feels just to be here right now. Stopped for just a few moments with some woman you have no idea who I am or why you're doing it, but you've been brave and here, which is fantastic. So thank you and welcome on that. Just taking this moment to be here in the now. And now I want you to slow your breathing down. Just slow the breathing down. And deliberately now slowing that breath. Slow the breath down and breathe. Let your belly relax. We tend to wander around holding in, hold ourselves in our belly. Just let that belly go and breathe from that relaxed belly. And then I want you to breathe in, and we're going to count to 4 and then pause, and then we're going to breathe out counting to 4. So breathing in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4. Pause, and then we're going to go again. In, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4. And back to your normal rhythm. And I want you to feel your shoulders relaxing a little bit more now.
That's fine. Right.
Maybe soften the hands, just let your hands just relax. Just feel yourself relaxing the jaw. You may clench the jaw, the tongue might be against your teeth. Just letting the face just gently relax. It's time just to have for yourself. Me time really important. Okay, really, really good. We're going to go again, do the same breathing. This time when we breathe in, I want you to tense all your muscles. All your muscles, I want you to tense them up. And then as we breathe out, I want you to let the muscles go. Okay, so this is a really good way of just bringing all that tension that you've got in your body just as a result of the day. It doesn't have to be an especially bad day, just a day where you've been busy, next. Just breathing in, 2, 3, 4, tensing all the muscles, your toes, everything, the hands, clenching the jaw, opposite of everything we just said, and then hold, 2, 3, 4, now let it all go and let those muscles relax. And let that breath out. And just feeling all of your muscles, just relaxing that little bit. Good job, it's great. Just relaxing and being here in the moment. Really, really vital. And then just looking at the breath again, focusing on the breath in and out. In and out. And we'll go for tensing again, so as we go into 4, you can tense up, we're going to hold, and then we're going to let go. So in, 2, 3, 4, tensing everything, 2, 3, 4, letting it go, 2, 3, 4, letting it all out, and the muscles relaxing. Okay, just relaxing where you are now, just feeling the support of the chair underneath your bottom. Just feeling supported here in this moment. This is you time, nothing else to do right now. Freeing the mind of all that's happened before, freeing the mind of everything that's going to happen in a little while, and just being right here, right now. Good job. Brilliant. Okay. Okay. So you can open your eyes, feeling maybe a little bit more relaxed. Just give the shoulders a wiggle, holding any tension, scanning. Breathing is really important around anxiety. Anxiety, obviously lots of things can create anxiety. We may come on as a panic attack, we may feel it's an overwhelming feeling of anxiety at all times. It's around alleviating that and learning tools to help you to be the best version of you, but also that can support and help with things like that. If you don't suffer from it, you're going to know somebody that does. There's a lot of people suffering with anxiety at the moment. So obviously the usual, if you notice that anxiety is obviously interfering with your daily tasks, if you've got a previous history of anxiety, if it's accompanied by sleeplessness, all that kind of stuff, or that you recognise that you are depressed, motivation is consistently not there, then please, I absolutely advocate you see your GP, you see somebody, you reach out, you talk to somebody. If you feel this is something that's coming in and out, then meditation and mindfulness is really useful. Now, I'm going to give you some handouts around how to start meditating. Again, all preconceived ideas about meditation mindfulness, please have a little think about it. It's different. I'm not an advocate of having to sit in a certain position. What I suggest is if we have got our feet on the floor or if we're sat in a position is that you're comfortable. You're not going to do anything well if you're not comfortable. You need to be comfortable. And it's a practice. Meditation is a practice. Mindfulness is a practice. This means we need to practice this every day. And the sheet will have some information around how you start. And 5 minutes a day is more than adequate to start with, and then you build it up. But I'm not going to tell you go do an hour, you're not going to do it, you're busy hungry, you've got better things to do with your life. But 5 minutes when you wake up or before you go to bed or wherever in your schedule, you can find 5 minutes to sit with yourself. And that's what we're going to look at next. We're going to talk about emotions, feelings, thoughts, because that's kind of what happens. We will have a feeling, we may not recognise the emotion, and then the thought is the story. All thoughts is the story of how we got there, what we're feeling. So what I'd like you to do next is again take that position of the feet on the floor. You're a little bit relaxed, a bit more relaxed than you were now, though. So I think it's just good for you to relax your shoulders, and then we're going to look at the feelings that come up. So we're going to do a body scan. got the lessons now. Oh, well, thank you very much for coming. Appreciated you. I'm going to move over this way a little bit. I'm going to chat with you. So, we're going to look now through the body at where there's any tension, where you're feeling any emotion that's particular, that's come up for you, that comes up if you think of something in particular. We're going to look at that emotion, and then we're going to go from there. So just sit, and if there's anything that's coming up for you, you're feeling anxious, you're feeling afraid, you're feeling a bit embarrassed, just what you're doing sat here, what's this all about? That's okay. Just feel that and see where does it sit in your body. Where does it sit in your body? Where are you feeling it? Is it in the chest? Is it in the shoulders? Does your back ache? Do you get pain in your foot? That kind of thing, where does it come? And when you feel that scan through the body, where is it? What does it look like for you? What does this feeling actually feel like? And then we can try and put in some space and we can label that emotion. So I'm sat on the edge of the seat and I need to run. Could be fear. Yeah? Or I'm sat here not quite sure what I'm doing here. It's embarrassment. Look at that emotion and breathe. Just bring some breath to the edge of it and look at it. Be curious. What's happening here? Why is this coming up? What is this doing? Where am I? And be curious and open to what is actually going on. Okay, so just sit with that, scan through the body, scan, just finding it. What does it feel like for me? And then what are the thoughts? What's the story that's around that? Okay, look at the story of what's around it. Where am I? How have I got there? And just undo that knot if you like. Just look at it and just let that knot dissipate. That tension in the body. Use the breath again to breathe in. And then just breathe out the tension and the stress in the body. What we'll notice is that as we go about our daily business, these things will come up as you go. This isn't a thing, anxiety and tension, stress doesn't just wait until you've got a minute for it. Stress, anxiety and tension affects you all day, every day, unless we take some steps to help it and ameliorate that, okay? So it's around just acknowledging where you are, what you're feeling, maybe just feeling and naming that emotion. And when we name and feel that emotion, we are halfway there to just being able to release and let go. Just be curious, how does the body feel and where it is. Then, as you go around your business, if a particular feeling comes in, you use the technique and ground. You can say to yourself, okay, I'm curious here, what is going on, how do I feel, and can I use this tool to just bring myself back from that edge and make myself feel calmer and grounded by using your breath, as we did before that. Breath in for 4, hold, and breath out. Okay. Walking, you don't have to sit to do these things. I've given you a sheet again around walking meditation. You will all put in your AirPods or stick on your rare things up the core, can't think of the word for it. Your headphones, you'll stick on your headphones, you'll whack in your AirPods and you'll walk from place to place. A lot of people do that all the time. If you focus out of not listening to the lyrics, if you're not concentrating on the lyric, that is meditation. You're meditating, you're zoning out of the general hubbub of stuff and you're walking. So don't believe you've got to sit still for meditation. Walking is a powerful meditative practice if you use it properly. So I've given you some step-by-step instructions about how to do that. It's powerful, really powerful. So use that because that's something that you will do as a matter of course. As young people, you love your music, which is fabulous. It's a great way of clearing the thoughts, clearing the chatter, clearing the stress, clearing the anxiety. So a really good way of doing that. Anything that gets rid of adrenaline, fight, flight response, freeze response, anything that brings you out of that is a really good tool to help you be resilient, to help you to be the best versions of yourself. This is about being authentic. I call it earlier in the session I called it the 5-minute you time. Take 5 minutes a day for yourself. Really, really important to start to channel into that inner voice. What's the inner voice saying? What am I really feeling today? I know what somebody's told me I need to do because I need to go to college and I need to do this and I need to do that and parents want this and there's a set of expectations from externals all the time. Being able to ground, being able to be mindful, being able to be self-aware means that you can make better choices that are coming from you. Yeah? And then as you develop that personal development practice, as you develop, you will then be able to make those better choices for yourself, coming from an authentic place, and you will then go out into the world doing things you really want to do with passion and excitement, rather than feeling you've got no motivation to maybe be doing something that you're not that keen on. If you don't like what you're doing, I seriously suggest you don't do it. Do something that makes you passionate, do something that you're excited to get up about. And if you don't know what that is right now, then connect in, get advice from people's great, but listen to the inner voice. That inner voice, it won't lead you wrong, but you need to cultivate it, you need to nurture it, you need to give it space. It's like a small seed in some soil. If you give it seed, if you give a seed water and soil and sunshine, it will grow. We're no different. But what we tend to do is we fill our space with all sorts of external influences, external validations, external medications for the pain that we maybe feel. And I don't just mean pharmaceutical medications, we medicate with all sorts of stuff all the time because we're in some form of trauma. So again, the mindfulness is bringing self-awareness. So that is a practice, is what mindfulness is about. It's not about going up a hill from the fall, as much as that will be beautiful and lovely, I'm sure. And it will develop spiritual self and spiritual practice, which is important. It's about giving yourself time every day where you know you're valued, where you know that you are meant to be here to accomplish something, where you connect with yourself and you're not looking to the externals to be validated or to be told what you want to do or need to do. It's about connecting with yourself, and as young people find the right people to do it. So I hope that is useful. What I would then like to do is talk to you about mantras. You will have heard about mantras. So using mantras is really useful. So things like what you tell yourself often enough, you become and you start to believe. So if somebody tells you you're never going to amount to anything, you're rubbish, you're no good, if you've had that a little, then that's what you will believe about yourself, and it takes some time to overcome that kind of trauma to self. What I would love you to try is every morning when you get up, and you can write this for yourself, there's no prescription around this, but set up, if you sit to look in the mirror and think, oh my God, my eyebrows are awful, I've got a terrible nose, I've got this, I've got that, all these externals that you think or hear and compare yourself with other people. An affirmation or a mantra is, I am beautiful, I am good enough, I am valued, I am worthy. Now all of this matters, these positive messages that we say to ourselves. If you can't express and say that to yourself, then write it down, put it on your mirror, wherever you're going to be in the morning, on your alarm clock in the morning, wherever you can see it, have it around, that you are actually looking at messages of positiveness that you can use about yourself, because it's very important to be telling ourselves that is positive and that we then start to believe, okay? And again, if you're doing walking meditation, you can start walking meditation with a mantra. I am worthy, hold the big hand walk, or you can hold your hand on your heart. It's called heart coherence, a meditative practice where you connect the heartbeat with the breath. So have a Google, there's loads of guided meditations online. After today, if you're remotely interested, go and have a Google. You will find something you can put on at night, and you can use apps galore that you can use. But this is start of personal development. This is you starting to look at yourself as an individual who's got so much to bring to the world. Yeah, and the more the authentic voice that you bring, the better it's going to be for you and for everyone else. Because you then are being who you really are. And being true to yourself, you're gonna do amazing things, guaranteed. talked about staying with the emotions. It is difficult. It is difficult to label an emotion. What am I feeling? Why am I feeling it? Okay? But to go back, that cycle of feeling an emotion, stepping back, creating an awareness around the emotion and the thought that then follows, and then grounding in, being curious, leaning into it a little bit. If it gets too overwhelming, then that's maybe where the work is. You suddenly think, I can't feel that anymore. That's where the work is. Journal. I absolutely advocate journaling every day if you can, every other month if you can. It doesn't matter. However often you feel, write it down. What was it that made you uncomfortable? What made me uncomfortable and why? And start to be curious. Curiosity is fantastic. Curiosity and imagination and time with yourself. Meditation will then come after all of that. Once we develop the fact that we've got that inner voice that we can listen to, it's really powerful. But unfortunately, because we do tend to fill our time with screens and other people, we don't always connect in with our inner self, our inner voice. You know, it's really important to know who you really are. You're young people. I'm nearly 50 and I'm just starting to get a glimpse of who I really am. So I'm not saying this will happen overnight, but if you develop a healthy curiosity about the good stuff and also the harder stuff. It's harder to feel, you're going to want to go away from it, aren't you? If we lean into our pain and we lean into the shadow side, I call it shadow work, we lean into that, then we get really rooted of who we are. And we can then take that forward. You know, the darkness is the darkness without the light, and we can mind those depths to find good, interesting stuff about ourselves, and you will learn going forward who you are. So I hope that's interesting. I hope it's kind of got you thinking a little bit, and that having that 5 minutes every day, start at 5 minutes. Who am I? It's a big, deep question. And the other thing to question very mindfully is, what does good look like for me? What does good look like for me? What does bad look like for me? Journal. What's good for me? What's bad for me? And how do I cope between the two? What do I do? What coping mechanisms do I use? When everything goes wrong, when I'm having a really bad day, bad week, bad month, yeah, what's going on? And what do I do to sort it out? Do I reach out for support and help? Do I become very insular and isolated? Which of those mechanisms is a healthy mechanism? Which isn't so healthy? And if I go and drink a bottle of vodka, yeah? So it's looking at what we use and when. Survival mode, you do what you do to survive. There's no guilt, no shame, no judgment. But it's just looking for yourself. What good looks like for you won't be what is good for you. Totally different people, totally different sets of circumstances. But if we can learn what it looks like, we can start to make more conscious, aware decisions. And mindfulness is the steps to consciousness. Let's be conscious about what we do instead of unconscious. Does that make sense? Yeah? And we tend to follow the herd a little bit sometimes with unconscious decisions. We'll go and get hammered because, you know, friends do it. And you young people, we've all done it, I've done it. But it's that, what decisions, if we're doing that for 7 nights a week, we need to look at the effects of that, don't we, and where we are. But just have a look at where you are. Have a look at the sheets I've given you about starting to be that look at meditation. Have a look around mindfulness. Just getting conscious awareness, and I hope it is of some benefit to you. Will help with sleep. There's a lot of insomnia out there at the moment. A lot of people waking up, panicking. Got to this, got to that. Again, go onto YouTube, look at guided meditations. You may not have thought about it before. Really will help. Free apps. Get onto your phones, find the apps, and they will support and will help you. So I hope that's been helpful.
Thank you so much, Sharon. Thank you, you too, as well.
Yes, thank you for staying through to the end.